Welcome in, everyone. Getting settled in here to start tonight's race here from Watkins, Glen. Watkins Glen has hosted a race quite a few times throughout the Sigma Cup Series.
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans, make sure you get everything like you want it.
In 2011, 2013, all the way through 2021. We missed a couple years, 2022 and 2023 not on the calendar, but 2024 and 2025 we've had more recent races here, and it's been a good race each season so far. So coming at it here tonight, Al Bunch won it in 2024, and James Fireball Robert won it in 2025. So those two drivers in the field here tonight. We'll go ahead and get started with tonight's lineup running order. Pole position, you've got Chaz Chadwick and Alex Crowther. Pair of drivers that have not yet won a Reg the Void. Preston Kundo alongside Wyatt Wilkinson. Lynn Farrell and Monty Shangle. Kara Shangle and Tasha Wright. Tyler Shangle and Luis Rodriguez. And you've got Tyler Aspinall and in the 54 tonight, Willow Blake. Al Bunch starting mid-pack alongside Lucas Holmes. Braden Varga and Chad Hertenstein. Trevor Vaden and Louis Trost. Chris Harvey and Kellen Relic. Ryan Little and Jimmy Logano. Dave Steele Jr. and Trevor Walker. Carson Bowers and Kevin Xavier. Tristan Reams and Liz Shangle. Tyler Landa and Brandon Butler II. Ryan White and Rich Roy, with Eli the Wolf and Ralph Oberstadt rounding out the field here today. 46 cars
Gentlemen,
to the track
start
here tonight.
your
A
engine!
large field by any standards, of course. Settled in, folks, because sometimes these road course races can be a little bit more of a follow the leader affair. Hopefully we get some good racing action in the 68 laps here tonight.
The whole thing on.
Part of the Big Apple 166 here in New York, Watkins Glen International Raceway. We're off and rolling here tonight. Green flag waving. They're going to go charging into turn one. Always a fun corner to watch them rally through. Chaz Chadwick with the early lead as Bradley Ream right there behind him. Bradley Ream in second, Alex Crowther in third. Single file in the top five. We've also got 68 machine. He's fresh off a race win at the 8 Bowl last week. So race win number one here in the Sigma Cup Series for Mr. Finley Herwig. Road courses tend to be his forte, so watch him just fly through this turn here. Fun corner of the track. We might as well just put a camera right there. That's a fun corner for sure. And I've got a way that I can actually make that happen here tonight. Lap one in the books here. Chaz Chadwick leads the way for lap one here tonight. Fastest lap, of course, goes to Chaz Chadwick on lap one. Welcome in everyone to the stream here tonight. I know it's a little bit later with spring on the horizon. A little bit more extra chores around the house. I had to go out and mow the yard. All that fun stuff that comes with being an adult, but we're rolling here tonight. Should be a little bit over an hour here at Watkins Glen. 68 laps, lap distance about a minute plus, so it's going to be an hour and a half, roughly, night of racing here. Should be a quick one in comparison to more of the cup races that we typically host that are longer endurance races, more longer than this one typically. laps here tonight. So honestly, it's going to come down to strategy calls. Leading the race early here is a great thing and all, but you don't want to burn up your tires. You don't want to burn through the gas too quickly. You want to try to be conservative and have something for the last push at the end of the night. We're going to go ahead and unfocus the camera here and get a good shot. Yeah, that's a good shot right there. Love seeing this corner in action. They cut that one turn in half almost, going over the turtle rumbles. Fastest lap still belongs to Chadwick at the moment. But you see that 78? He's trying to close the gap up a little bit, trying to get a little bit closer to the back bumper of that 18 machine. Bradley Ream gets the fast lap that last time, so definitely you can tell he was running a little bit quicker there and was able to convert it over to a fast lap here tonight. As is customary in Sigma racing on road courses, no cautions unless we definitely need it. So we'll pretty much be running green flag all night here, unless the car goes flipping, tumbling somewhere on the racetrack, then we'll throw that full force caution. But for the most part, just along for the ride here today. This is our second road course this season. We ended up having Portland a couple weeks ago. That was taken home by the number 43 machine of Tate Bergeron, who's right there in the top 5. We have had parity like this before, actually going back to 2012. The largest parity season we ever had saw 12 different, no, Mark, take that, 15 different races in the first 15 races. We're just past halfway on trying to reach that stat for this year, 8 for 8. And as it looks right now, 1, 2, 3 on track. Those are all first-time winners on the season if they can get the job done here today. However, 43 of Tate Bergeron looking for his second win on the season, as is the 68 of Finley Herwig. Bradley Ream's got a good run. He's trying to find an open spot to make the pass on the 18 machine here. Not wasting any time working the wheel on that 78. Yeah, it's been crazy how busy I've been lately. I've been so out of touch with the internet lately that the only thing I can do typically is get set up for these races, do the races, hopefully get a chance to score the points, and then try to catch up with comments in the Discord channel. Trying to find that happy medium. It's been a very hectic 2026 for me so far. But the important part is getting those races in, and that's what I strive for. Is even if I can't be online all the time, and actually acting on the community itself, at least I really hope for is being able to give everyone a well-polished product. And that's what I'm most proud of, is the product that we've got in the racing series with Sigma. A lot of great races, a lot of great spectators, great fan base. We've grown so big in just 4 years' time since I decided to jump to YouTube here. A little bit of movement through the field. The fastest lap now belongs to the 68 machine of Finley Herwig. A huge threat when it comes to road course races. He's ladder, so coming from the UK, and that's a lot of the racetracks over there. Goes to show you that he's a great road course ringer here in the Super Cup Series. But regardless, Chaz Chadwick still at the front, leading all these laps early here tonight. As the season's really kicking off into overdrive now. 8 races in, plenty of racing to go. Watkins Glen here tonight. Next week is going to be North Wilkesboro. There'll be a doubleheader next week. On Thursday night, you've got North Wilkesboro and Chicagoland on Friday. And the next week after that, you've got the Bristol doubleheader. A very unique concept that we came up with last year. Instead of running one 500 lap at Bristol, we kind of broke it into, well, two 270 lap races in 2 nights. So, Bristol day on Thursday, April 2nd, and then Bristol night on April 3rd, Friday. And we have the home track stretch for Sigma Racing. It'll look a little different than what its schedule suggests. We're gonna have to make some scheduling adjustments on my end. But Evergreen in Monroe, Washington, and then Moses Lake Motorplex in Moses Lake, Washington, as we will have 2 short tracks back to back and a crown jewel event. The home track of Sigma Racing, the first ever track that I built for our league, and it's going to get its first ever points-paying race this season in just short of a month time. So we're going to be excited about that one. There's some drivers that are going to be getting the call up for a one-off start in the Cup Series to get their feet wet, and who knows what that opportunity can present for them. They may actually have a good race out of it. Could transition to even more for them going forward. Well, 10 laps in, 58 laps to go. Single file, follow the leader, as I kind of expected here tonight. But the racing is pretty frantic. You're seeing a lot of kind of a snake effect with the cars slipping and sliding around, trying to find clean air to work ahead of the traffic in front of them. I've not been able to really execute on passes, but I think they're trying to get a feel for it here, to figure out where that pass may be able to be made later in the race. Bradley Reed definitely has got the speed here, and he's trying to find his way around the 18. Chadwick just a very tough opponent to deal with at the moment. More impressive is the fact that it's a Honda leading the way. You got Dodge in second. You got Honda yet again third. Chevy, Genesis, Chevy, Ford. So got some standout manufacturers. Apparently Honda's got it figured out today. Dodge and Chevy also having a good showing. Goes high. That's going to open the door for the 67 of Alex Crowther, your defending Bridge to Cup champion. Got up the ladder here into the Cup Series based on his championship last year with the feeder series. Our Bridge to Cup champion often converts to success in the Cup Series. We've seen it time and time again. Your 2024 Bridge to Cup champion I didn't realize my mic was in, it was in turtle mode. It was not out of the headset. And I don't know how bad the audio has been this whole time, but now I probably sound a lot crisper and a lot clearer. But as I was saying with Bridge to Cup champions, your 2023 Bridge to Cup champion, Al Bunch, went on the next year in Cup to win the 2024 Sigma Cup championship. 2022 Bridge to Cup champion was Ewan What Army. He ended up moving on the next year, finishing runner-up to Atlee Weiss for the championship. And let's see, Bradley Ream, year 2024 Bridge to Cup champion, went on, won a race or two last year. So the only time it's actually transitioned to a championship was Al Bunch. But they've been the top rookies each year when a Bridge to Cup guy wins the championship, gets that graduation up into Cup. Typically, they win a race or more. And that has remained true since 2022. Your 2022 Bridge to Cup champion moves up to Cup, wins races, comes in second to Atlee Weiss. 2023 Bridge Cup champion, wins 15 races. Al Bunch did the unimaginable. Got the graduation up to Cup, wins 15 races, wins Rookie of the Year, wins championship, all the accolades. Actually, no, he missed out on Rookie of the Year because he did run a full enough season in a more reserved seat that did not get him the success that he saw the following year after he won Bridge to Cup, moved up to Cup full-time anyways. And then, of course, the guy we're looking at right there, Bradley Ream, in second, year 2024 Bridge to Cup champion, went on to win 2 races last year and finished in the top 5 in points. So could that be a good omen for Alex Crowther in the 6-7 machine, that maybe he's going to get a win or two and potentially be up there in the points at the end of the year? We'll have to wait and see. Chaz Chadwick, a truck champion in his own right. It's been a very dry spell for him. We have not seen that 18 machine to victory lane in quite some time. The big game changer here tonight will obviously be when those pit stops do start to happen. Drivers are going to be figuring out where to hit those fuel numbers and when to make the stops. Definitely a different ball game when you start factoring in fuel strategy, tire preservation, and all of that. Chaz Chadwick, though, not able to get away. He's had the lead this whole time, but that 78 keeping him honest right there on his back bumper. Good run down the backstretch. That 78's going to have the momentum. He's sliding, though. Loses that momentum that he was carrying through those turns. And now the 67 could be closing in on the back bumper of the 78. Let's check the chat log here, see if there's been any mechanical failures. Nope. Yeah, at this point it looks like about a 6-car breakaway from your lead group there. Finley Herwig still with the fastest lap here today. Good run from him. Still very much within grasp of the lead. But for the most part, the folks that we're seeing up front, not very common that we've seen run up front the last couple races, the first 8 races of the season, that is. Chaz Chadwick does sit 4th in the points with a very consistent run so far this season. Average finish of 15th through 8 events. His best finish came at Portland, so kind of working with that road course magic, it seems like, for the LFG Motorsports 18 driver there, carrying that that expertise here tonight to Watkins Glen. He qualified 4th and finished 4th at Portland. Well, if that's any indicator of what could happen here tonight, who knows if he can maybe convert his pole over to a win. Now, yeah, still 6-car breakaway. They're growing that advantage over 7th place pretty readily there. 7 cars in the lead here, starting to grow that gap. So let us go ahead and take a gander here and see when those pit stops can be expected here today. Our garage tells us 41 laps the distance, so almost possible that we could see him break it right down the middle here today. 34 laps, pit one time, then you'll be good to go for the second half of the night. Of course, some folks, they tend to play a little different strategy than that. We might see stay out a little longer. They might come in a little earlier, and that could definitely make a huge difference. As we can see right now, through 20 laps, there's been about 2 seconds of fall off on the lap times. So the sooner you come to pit road and get fresh tires, the sooner you get back out there and run quick laps again. Doesn't look like it's much of a problem for your top 6, as they are leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the field here today. Putting on a great showing. But let us go ahead and do a through the field here. Obviously, with the lead right now, Chaz Chadwick on a very long dry spell, looking to try and get his first win in a long time. Hold tight. We'll get back to that as we try to analyze and figure out when that last race was that he won. It's been a long time. Didn't win it all last year, and perhaps a potential return to form here tonight. We'll have to see. Behind that, you've got Bradley Ream, your 2024 Bridge to Cup champion. And then you got Alex Crowther, your 2025 Bridge to Cup champion. Really neat to see the ladder working so successfully for our stars of the Sigma Racing Series, moving up into Cup and proving that they were no fluke to win those championships. Next in line, the ever consistent veteran of the Cup Series now, Taden Bergeron. It's his breakout season, I feel like. We're seeing him up front more often. He's led laps here. He's led a lot of laps. He's won a race. He won his first ever career race back at Portland. So seems to have the road courses figured out here tonight. Top 5. He's having to defend right now against Finley Herwig. Finley came close to an ARCA championship, although ended up getting bested by Ryan White for that title in the 2025 Sigma ARCA championship. Nonetheless, though, there was a charter that opened up for auction, and that is how we've got the 68 machine of Finley Herwig in a full-time Cup ride. Kind of did the ARCA to Cup jump pretty quickly. He is racing Bridge to Cup this year. Kind of a loophole. We're allowing it. Kind of give him that, I guess, Connor Zilic approach where he still gets a chance to race in Bridge to Cup, perhaps fight for a championship. But he's a full-time Cup driver at this point anyways. So good run from Finley, your most recent race winner here in the Cup Series. Then you got Bran DeBlank, the 85 machine. As we've followed him up the ladder, he was always really great at road course racing. His Bridge to Cup resume looked very, very detailed on road courses. And so it just goes to show you, doesn't matter what car you throw, Mr. DeBlank in, he's going to be up front fighting for wins at these road courses. Next in line, you have the 2015 Sigma Cup champion, Jacob Schenkel, running that Greg Biffle tribute scheme for Monty Schenkel Motorsports this year. Victorious at Texas a few weeks ago, and still having some great runs here. Had a very tough start to the season, but has since rebounded to try and climb up into the top 15 in points. So we'll see how far he can run this season. One win's going to do him a lot for the title hopes, as he's already getting back into the mix. Behind that, you got Tom Cording, a truck champion in his own right, just like Chaz Chadwick. A couple of these truck drivers definitely figuring it out here in the Cup Series. Cooper Dwight, Bridge to Cup, standout that won in his first ever career start. Was able to earn himself a chartered team this year between him and his teammate Carson Bowers based on their results from last year. Cooper Dwight was able to break through, victorious at Daytona this year, and trying to keep those points tallying for his favor. Top 10 runs so far. James Fireball Robert, the 95 machine that won the Rebel 500 at Atlanta. Definitely starting to add his name to some of the big race wins on the calendar. Your 2025 Sigma All-Star. He still kind of holds that honor as we haven't had the All-Star race this year. So kind of a year-long banner from 2025 through half of 2026. Your Sigma Cup All-Star winner. Behind that, you've got the 2022 Bridge to Cup champion, Ewan Wood Army. Had to make it through the sprint qualifier, and he's currently running in 11th. And then you've got a pair of team cars here. That is the 64 of Sebastian Torres. Oh, and we got to move for position here perhaps ahead of these two. 95 making a move on the 41. That's for 9th. Oh, 41 kind of held him off there, though. Might be some bumping. There might be some banging. Now the door's opening up for the one of Ewan Wood Army, who wants to try and get up a spot into the top 10. Well, it seems like things have kind of settled down again, so we'll continue through the lineup. Sebastian Torres in that 64 machine. We're all familiar with Mr. Jacob Schenkel racing that car. Takes a step down to go race for his dad's team in the Ford this year. And Sebastian Torres won the call-up in the Sigma Gong Show, picking of a new driver. His teammate right behind him, though, John Hagan, has been racing with JSR for 2 years now. Seems like he's finally getting things figured out, getting some better finishes in the books. Definitely struggled last year. You have our first guy on pit road. It looked like Chad Hertenstein making a pit stop early. This puts him right in the window to make it to the finish with no more stops, but barely. I mean, 41 laps does not leave you a whole bunch of wiggle room. If you're going to be pushing it that tight on gas, you might have wanted to wait a lap or two more. But anyways, maybe it was a mechanical failure. Let's see. Doesn't seem like there was any flat tires, mechanical bugs, nothing. So just 21 of Chad Hertenstein on pit road. Craig the Void in the top 15 with Wyatt Wilkinson also rounding out your top 15. Preston Kundo, Lynn Farrell, Kara Schenkel, Monty Schenkel, Tyler Schenkel. Wow, it's a Schenkel family reunion there in the mid-20. Tasha Wright, Luis Rodriguez, Tyler Aspinall, Willow Blake, Lucas Holmes, Braden Varga, Kellen Relic, Trevor Vaden, Chris Harvey, Ryan Little, Trevor Walker, Jimmy Logano, Dave Steele Jr., Carson Bowers, Kevin Xavier, Tristan Reams, Liz Schenkel, Brandon Butler II, Rich Roy, Tyler Landa, Eli the Wolf, Ryan White, Ralph Oberstadt, Louis Trost, and the 21 of Chad Hertenstein is currently one lap down in 46th place. So back to your lead group here. Still your top 7 without much change. Everyone's still running the same order that they were running. Top 6 actually, not top 7. Well, there's a bit of dust. What was that all about? Go ahead and hit the fast forward button and figure out. Whoa, the 29's got some side damage there. Oh, oh, there we go. There's... Oh, maybe Chad Hertenstein got in a bit of a wreck. So Chad Hertenstein on pit road, perhaps for something that we might have missed here. This is a battle back in 28th, 29th place. That's the 29 of Louis Trost. Oh, he hooks. No way. Oh, boy. Well, we missed it, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the caution for that because, holy cow. Chad Hertenstein ended up on his roof on lap 26 here. Sigma officials were just 3 laps late to throw that caution. But wow, let's go check that ride out for poor Chad Hertenstein getting in the wreck there. That's not the way you want to end your day at all. Never want to end your day on the lid. Yeah, that's going over the bridge straightaway there. Once, twice. Yeah, 2.5 flips for the 21 machine. And he ends up on his roof nonetheless. That is exactly why we would throw a caution in a Sigma road course, and we did not catch it right in time. Officials definitely took their sweet time to get that one squared away there. We'll just give a few more replay angles here. I feel like that's on the 29 of Louis Trost. There was no reason to get side by side through the tunnel straight there. And Chad was just along for the ride at that point. It's amazing as how everyone else kind of just cruised through it without too much trouble or... Damn, what a hard hit for the 21. Good thing that the catch fence was there, or else he could have been tumbling out of the racetrack. Actually, is there a catch fence there? It looks like there's no catch fence once you get around. Oh yeah, just barely. The only spot where there's a catch fence right through this turn here, and he hits it just enough to keep him in the track. Talk about a fortunate placement of the catch fence. Chad's day is done. Dead last, 46th place here today. Tough break for him. So the first round of pit stops, this is definitely going to be the big game changer here today. And we'll see who changes it up, maybe gets an advantage. Whoa, the 67 killed it on the pit stop there. He's going to get out ahead of Chaz Chadwick. Chaz loses that lead. Chaz is able to reclaim second here, though. Coming out third, it looks like the 43 of Taden Berggren. Fourth place, Finley Herwig. Fifth place, Monty Shangle. What a big bounce for the number 16 machine here. Everyone was on pit road this time, so it's very, very happening. Is it 2 tires maybe for the 16? Gas and go? Wow. Gas and go, that's brave. Ballsy. Al Bunch struggling as well. Man, it has been a very, very stressful season for the 81 team as they cannot get it figured out yet. Some folks stayed out. Cooper Dwight and Ryan Little decide to stay out here. Strategy calls. We will see if this is worth the gamble or not. Hard to say where it's going to shake them up. They'll still have to pit here today. They are way held up at the back here. I don't know what's going on there. They're about halfway around the track already, and these cars are not rolling. We might have to call off the restart here. Sigma officials are going to go ahead and throw that yellow to call off the restart, get things squared away here. Now Chaz Chadwick right back up to second. Cooper Dwight, your leader. Dwight leads. Chaz Chadwick second. Ryan Little third with the strange strategy call to stay out instead of pitting. Well, Cooper Dwight's going to lead them into the caution here with the lead, with half the race run, half the race to go. 34 laps in, 34 laps remaining. Chaz Chadwick second, Ryan Little third, Finley Herwig fourth, and then Alex Crowther with fifth at the moment. Taden Berggren, Al Bunch's lap down, Monty Shangle in seventh, Jacob Shangle in 8th, Sebastian Torres in 9th, Bran DeBlank in 10th, John Hagan, Fireball Robert, Ewan Wood Army, Cording, Wilkinson, Kundo, The Void, Farrell, Shangle, Kara Shangle, top 20, Luis Rodriguez also top 20, then Tyler Shangle, Tyler Aspinall, Tasha Wright, Willow Blake, Bradley Ream, Lucas Holmes, Kellen Relic, Braden Varga, Chris Harvey, Kevin Xavier, Trevor Walker, Dave Steele Jr., Trevor Vaden, Carson Bowers, Jimmy Logano, Brandon Butler II, Liz Shangle, Tristan Reams, Rich Roy, Tyler Landa, Ryan White, Louis Trost, Ralph Oberstadt, Eli the Wolf, and Al Bunch share the tail end of the field. Teammates with a lot of work to do. More takers down pit road here. Looks like Monty decides to switch it up and pit. Crowther pits. Taden Berggren pits. Yeah, it's a weird race. Sometimes you get very interesting perspectives on strategy calls. I think the reason they got held up, they were waiting for Al Bunch to drop to the tail of the field, lap down car. So we're going to try to give him the wave around, get him back on the lead lap, hopefully. Pit stalls are some of the random pit stalls here. Looks like they got their service pretty quickly, though. Okay, lights are off on the pace car. They'll get doubled up here. This is still weird, though. I don't... Okay, yeah, we're getting almost everyone caught back up now, so... not very many people pitted, luckily, so they should all be back within the lead group doubled up for this restart. And this restart could be nuts here. Doubled up all the way from front to back. Could be a wreck waiting to happen. We'll see. Chaz Chadwick struggling here. Are we going to have to throw off another restart? Cooper Dwight is light years ahead of the 18 at the moment. Chaz Chadwick struggling here. What in the world is going on? Come on, inside line. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, boy. Okay, so Watkins Glen, kind of buggy. And they're already, god dang. Single file. What the hell? Chaz Chadwick is broken here. Yeah, this is not good. Restart again. Probably why we should have never thrown the caution to begin with, is it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get back going without freaking... So Chaz Chadwick basically spots the whole field, half the field. Where he was leading this race, falls all the way back to 23rd. And now all of a sudden, Finley Herwig and Cooper Dwight, your top two at the front of the field, your leaders here today. Race winners on the season already. Finley is going to jump up there. The double Genesis, actually, the quad Genesis party joins the front of the field. You got 4 Genesis cars at the front. 41 of Cooper Dwight, 68 of Finley Herwig, 64 of Sebastian Torres, and the 88 of John Hagan, all sporting the Genesis here today. In 5th, you've got Ewan Wood Army, and how about Wyatt Wilkinson with the top 10 run right now? I fear, yeah, it's going to black flag a bunch of people here. The tough part is it's also black flagging Chaz Chadwick for failing to make the start there, the restart. So once they go green again, they're going to go serve their penalty, their black flag penalty, and it's going to get shaken up once again here. We're just trying to get back to racing. That's the tough part. Damn 23-year-old game still giving us fits 23 years down the road. Lead for the restart here on lap 39 or lap 40, depending on when we get that reset. Even with all these shenanigans and stuff, obviously there's still going to be someone crowned victorious here today at Watkins Glen. Chaz Chadwick might be a man on a mission now after the mistakes that were made there to force him way back out of the field. .45 cars, 45 on the lead lap. Chaz Chadwick spending the extra time on pit road to serve. I believe that black flag can be served under caution, but might not be the case. We'll have to wait and see. Well, lights are out on the pace car. This should be an opportunity for them to get doubled up again. Chaz is going to have to start all the way at the back of the field. This looks a little bit cleaner. Double file restart. Outside line, not driving away with it. This is the way it should be. Finley and Torres lead them to the restart here on lap 39. And who knows if we might have a cause for caution going in to turn 1 here tonight. This could be the moment where the race gets turned upside down. Hopefully not upside down like Chad Hertenstein here tonight, who is sliding across his roof, sparks flying. Settling into the lead, it's Sebastian Torres in the number 64 for JSR. Craig the Void up into the top 5. Wyatt Wilkinson also in the picture there. 3rd place, Ewan Wood Army. 4th place, John Hagan. But Craig the Void right there in the top 5. Here comes Finley with a good charge down the inside here on the backstretch. Torres has the lead. Finley's going to charge in there. 64 closes the door. 68, good run though. I think that speed still very much alive in the 68 machine. Ewan Wood Army in 3rd. Chaz from leading the most laps here today. He's going to have to wish for a good luck break at some point here. Perhaps even another caution to help get him in the mix later. More folks coming down pit road here. Looks like the 3 of Ralph Oberstadt, 16 of Monty Shangle, the 81 of Al Bunch, 22 of Trevor Walker, the 41 of Cooper Dwight. This may be our black flag penalties. Yeah, these are all your drivers that had a black flag. Having to serve it under green conditions sucks, but that's the way the game has to serve that penalty, I guess. It can't be under caution, so they definitely need a caution to get back into it, though. 28 laps to go. They're going to be mired deep in the field. Chaz Chadwick was another one of those guys, but it seems like he's staying out. Chaz currently in 34th. Our ticker won't show him until he gets cycled up there. Oh, now we're going to have lap traffic with your leaders. They're going to be coming in, closing in on your lead group here. This could be a wreck waiting to happen. This is going to be touch and go here for a minute. They seem to merge in all right. No contact. Oh, 94 gets through the dirt, though. Eli the Wolf, who is running in 17th, wow, loses it and then gets stuck in the grass, goes for a ride around the rim of the racetrack there. Man, when it's bad for Eli. It's been a very, very weird year for him. Winning a race to start the season, won the season opener, but the wheels have literally fallen off that 94 machine. Went from 17th, it looks like he's going to drop back to 27th. Yeah, so no more black flags are shown on the ticker there. So evidently Chaz Chadwick got cleared of that black flag, and he's back in the mix here, 30th in the field. It was a good battle for position here. That's 55 of Luis Rodriguez, the 17 of Trevor Vaden, and the 94 of Eli. And outside damage, that was from him hitting that outside wall when he made that mistake, that off-track experience. Both them blowing right around. Eli the Wolf here. Eli losing more ground. continuing to lose spots. Falls back to 27th now. But how about for your race leader, Sebastian Torres, defending top position over Finley Herwig, a very tough adversary on these road courses. Sebastian Torres, a rookie in the Cup Series this year. No experience prior, didn't have to come up the ladder, and got the call up immediately into a Cup ride for his first ever year of competition in this Mountain Dew Voltage Genesis for Jacob Schenkel Racing. That 64 machine, no stranger to victory lane. And for Sebastian Torres, inheriting a very fast race car this year, he's already proven to be worth every penny. So 24 laps to go here today. Lap traffic factoring in as well. Tomorrow night, I am still planning on doing the Bridge to Cup race. Next week might be a double header with ARCA night with Bridge to Cup, as the Cup will be part of a double header Thursday, Friday night race schedule. So obviously the loss of Wednesdays is easy to adjust around. It's just going to mean we have more racing on other nights now, with my iRacing coverage on Wednesdays. Torres trying to keep that lead. Finley, however, would love to break the trend and become the first multi-winner this season. 8 races, 8 different winners. Finley was the last guy to win at 8 Bowl for race number 8. Here tonight, race number 9, Sebastian Torres leads the way. It would be his first ever career win in Sigma competition, let alone the first win of the year. And that would make 9 for 9 different winners on the first 9 races of the season. As I previously mentioned, we've seen parity like this before. This is only basically tied for second most. So if we get to 9, it'd be second most by itself. We've had 8 in a season to start before, so right now we're tied for second. And the number 1 season back in 2012, where we had 15 different winners in the first 15 races. Whoa, 3 wide for the lead. Finley gets brushed off into the dirt there, and the 15 lap car gets a little bit huckabuck sideways. Finley paid the big price, saw an opening and went for it, but falls back to 3rd. Got to give Finley credit for trying to make that move when he saw it come to be. Just did not work out in his favor. Sebastian doing a great job here. Second place under attack. Finley wants to get back there after losing that spot to the number 1 of Ewan Wood Army. Finley looking stout, trying to run all around the racetrack here to get back to where he was. Most of the rest of the field hoping they can get that caution here today. Multiple drivers laps down. Here comes What Army around lap traffic. Man, lap traffic giving them trouble here today. Tristan Reams, a very well-renowned road course racer a couple of years back in 2023, where he won 5 races on a road course out of his 6 wins on that season. However, the big difference was he was racing for Arrow McLaren when they were a part of the Sigma Cup Series. Arrow McLaren has long since left the Sigma Cup Series, and so that road course expertise kind of went out the window for him, unfortunately. When you think about McLaren and their ties to F1 and IndyCar, it would make sense that anyone racing for them would happen to dominate the road courses, and that was an exciting year for Tristan Reams, but starting to feel more like current generation Kyle Busch. Craig the Void making a pit stop here with 20 laps to go. And that might be a scheduled pit stop for Craig the Void. Mechanical failure for the 30 of Tom Cording, a fuel leak. And we're going to go ahead and throw the caution because he is going to be in the middle of the racetrack. And there's obviously fuel down on the racetrack as well, so. Whoa, and they come sliding through there. Man, the 9 of Braden Varga, where was... Yeah, tough break for the 30 of Tom Cording here. Great break for Craig the Void, who made that pit stop right before the caution fell. He might be able to catch a break and maybe even get back up to the front with the strategy call. Very, very interesting strategy call for sure. So we should get back to racing on lap 52 here tonight, leaving us with about a 16-lap shootout roughly to the finish. Do not anticipate seeing any more takers down pit road, but you never know, honestly. For Craig the Void, he's almost going to need the whole field to pit again for him to cycle back to the front of the field for making that pit stop during green flag competition. Should be the last of your wave rounds. We're getting a little bit bunched up here, trying to get back into the formation lap. Oh wow, we are gonna have the field pitting here. Tires are king, gas and tires. Majority of your leaders decided to pit here. Staying out, it's going to be Taden Bergeron and Braden Varga. That'll be your new front row for the restart here. 30 is... going to screw us up if he's going to be starting at the front of the field. Everyone needs to get around him. Actually, let's do this. Damn it. Yeah, get around. Come on. Go, go, go. There we go. That's more like it. No one's going to have to wait for him. That's what screwed up our first restart here today, where everyone was waiting on the lap traffic to get around the lap traffic. So, leading the restart, it's going to be Taden Bergeron, your leader, race winner at Portland, followed by Braden Varga in second. Third place, Ryan Little, Brandon Butler the second and fourth, Lynn Farrell, Craig the Void, Jimmy Logano, Liz Shangle, Jacob Shangle, Preston Kundo, Carson Bowers, Tristan Reams, Al Bunch. Are they on the lead lap? They must be. They stayed out, I think, when everyone else pitted. New leaders, new drivers in the mix. Sebastian Torres drops from first all the way back outside the top 20. Sideline not going again. Seems to be a recurring situation here. See if I can fix it at least. Now into line for, now the 94 is slowing everyone up. Great. Another race faux pas here tonight. And it's going to black flag everyone, so we're just going to have to let the black flags sort themselves out for a lap or two and then reset it again. This track has not given us this level of irritation ever. This is a first. This is a first, and I don't know how to fix it at the moment on the fly. It's just the game being the game, unfortunately. For whatever reason, it's not black flagging any of those leaders that stayed out on the outside. No matter what, someone's got to win here tonight. Even with the very crazy, topsy-turvy rules that are being enforced here today, it's a miracle that someone's going to come out with a win. Down the racetrack for the lead for the first time here today, it's going to be Ryan Little leading the race. Lynn Farrell in second with Jimmy Logano in third. Jacob Shangle in fourth, Carson Bowers, and how about the resurgence for Al Bunch, a top 10 run at the moment. Everyone busy serving their black flag penalties here. What a weird, weird race here so far. And the 52 is going to have to pit. That's going to hand the lead over to Lynn Farrell. Lynn Farrell leads, but Jacob Shangle charging down the front stretch. He's going to try to carry that momentum into turn one. Lynn Farrell, he's got a good run on the outside. He's going to keep the lead here for now. Lap traffic rejoining the racetrack. Lynn's car looks a little bit wadded up. He's been through a few scuffles here today, it looks like, but holds the lead over the 60. Jacob Shangle bouncing back, trying to fight again. Going into the bus stop section of the racetrack. Jacob gets loose. Lynn Farrell leads this thing still. This battle at the lead, worth it right now between the two, duking it out. Jacob giving it all he's got, but Lynn continuing to hold that lead with fury. Oil leak from the number 17 machine. The heck's going on with the 42 of Brandon Butler? He's still on pit road, so 17 coming down pit road after that oil leak. We'll throw the caution again here. Oh boy. Well, if only we can get through this without any more headache here today. Glen Farrell will maintain his lead going to the caution. 12 laps to go here today. I'm sorry, folks. It's the freaking game decided to be buggy here tonight and give us one of those NR2003 moments that we're all accustomed to. Everyone's kind of hit the shuffle button, unfortunately. It's not like the guy that had the most laps led here today is going to have a shot at winning it now. But for this, what could be the final restart, will be about 9 laps to go. You do have Sebastian Torres working his way back through the field. Finley Herwig in the top 10. Wyatt Wilkinson, Kara Shangle, Lewis Trost. Wow, Trost wrecked the 21 of Chad Hertenstein, and he's still in there for a top 10 run. Bradley Ream has had an up and down day, but he's getting back towards the front when it matters the most. Tyler Landa, Bran DeBlank still top 15. Willow Blake in the top 20. She's, yeah, mid-pack, 17th. John Hagan still could get back up into it. Oh, man. Why are these cars all so freaking wonky today? The hell? All I'm hoping for is one more decent final restart here today. No more miscues, no more jump starts. Let's just get this race rolling and finished here today without too much more headache and hassle. Okay, so Lynn Farrell will have the advantage for the restart here today. That car a little bit roughed up. You could see the pace out of the 60 machine definitely a lot faster than the 69. The damage on Farrell's car slowing him up a little bit, but he's been doing a masterful job keeping the 60 at bay. One more restart perhaps for all the marbles. The big one at the end of the race here. Lynn Farrell looking for that first ever win in Sigma racing competition. No wins to his name yet, but it's just a matter of time, especially with the luck kind of falling in his way here today. There we go, doubled up. No hold up. 69's gonna have that inside line. The inside line's rolling here. Craig the Void all the way at the back. If he wants a shot at a top 10, it's going to take a Hail Mary miracle to get up to the top. That 60 machine looks stout though. Lynn Farrell is going to have his hands full going down the long downhill front stretch here today. Lynn has the advantage. They got the green flag. It's time to go. They're going to make it 3 wide in the background there. This could get dangerous. Al Bunch is going to dive bomb his way in there. 3 wide. He knows how to win here, but unfortunately did not pan out for him. Carson Bowers up to second. Lynn Farrell falls back to third, and that 60 machine rockets away with the lead. Jacob Shangle in the 60 machine leads the way. But how about that Sebastian Torres getting back through the field here? That 64 wants to get back into the mix. He was leading this race at one point. Well, Carson Bowers in second, Jacob Shangle up front with the lead. He's not steered a wheel wrong here today. He's been able to stay out of trouble. That 60 machine looks clean. The rest of the field look slow compared to your leader at the moment, who's cruising up front with resounding speed. Craig the Void trying to pick him off here at the end of the day. Currently running in 40th. He wants to gain as many spots here before that checkered flag waves. It just goes to show you he's got the speed. Fortunately, just a little bit of bad luck here today put him behind the 8 ball. I'm amazed that 29's still hanging on for a solid run here. That's not even fair. The 60 running so much faster than the rest of the field behind him. Just in case we need it, implementing green-white checkers for the possibility. I'm going to keep skimming the field here to keep an eye for what could potentially bring out any final cautions here tonight. Man, the 60 is off to the races. Rest of the field. Whoa, the 12 gets ran into by the 64. Whoa, and there's the 69 spinning out. we'll go ahead and throw the caution for that. Whoa. What a weird span of laps there, unfortunately for Lynn Farrell, getting spun out. Everyone kind of just threw all caution to the wind there. They're getting restless to try and catch up to the leader. Wyatt Wilkinson spins out the 69 of Lynn Farrell there. The rest of the cars in the background just trying to go through the smoke. Keep themselves collected here. But how about the 64 Sebastian Torres? Upset with tonight's circumstances. He was trying to bulldoze his way through the 12 machine. That's where it all started. Bam! Hard hit to the 12, and then all of a sudden the 69 gets railed. Spinning around there into the cat trap. Well, tough break for Lynn Farrell. Just when you thought he was in a good position to fight for a win here today, gets spun out fighting up front for the race wins here today. What in the actual hell? Why is it so hard to get sorted here at Watkins Glen? They drive around like it's like Friday night rush hour after work gets out. And then all of a sudden, stop and go traffic like you're in the middle of Seattle. Well, this could set up a very interesting approach for this final stint of the race. Carson Bowers and Jacob Shangle will set the field. That 64, though, Sebastian Torres, is fast, and do not discredit him. He is racing a little bit more aggressively here tonight. He wants to fight for that win. How about Louis Trost in the top 5 still? And Al Bunch, man, they are in need of a good finish here. And that 81 looking to maybe be returning to form that we know he's very capable of. Top 5 run for Al Bunch. He's just got to close this thing down with a good push to the end here. He knows how to win at Watkins Glen. He did it back in 2024. Could he maybe add another win to his resume at a track that he knows pretty well? Starting 5th on this restart is going to put him 3rd row deep, but it should put him 3rd row deep on the inside, which could be an advantage. We'll have to wait and see. Cross your fingers, folks, that we do not get another jump start for the restart here. I really, really hope we do not. It's been every other restart here tonight's been problematic so far, so I'm just hoping everyone plays well, clean, and we fight to the finish here with 3 laps to go to find out who wins this crap fest of a race. Kind of probably one of the reasons Watkins Glen has appeared and disappeared from the calendar a few times. It's just a tough track to actually make work right. More problems than it needs to have, and we'll just we'll roll on with it. Obviously, sometimes you need a little bit of drama, a little bit of glitchiness to really shake things up. We're gonna see we're going to see a good race to the finish here at least. Yeah, double wide, double file restart seems to be working this time the way it was intended. Carson Bowers on what will be the outside down the front stretch. Jacob Schenkel on the inside. That preferred inside line going downhill. How is he going to deal with his own team car behind him? JSR Genesis of Sebastian Torres, who we know is not afraid to use that bumper. He almost took the 12 out fighting for the position. So is he going to take it easy on the boss man, or is he going to try to clean out his clock and fight for the win? Louis Trost as well. It's been a long time since he's returned to form. But here we go. Drag race down the front stretch. 12 has a good run on the outside. 60 should be able to get the door and close it. No, the 12 is going to run on the outside here. Now we got a battle for the win. Carson Bowers and then Jacob Schenkel in the 60. Bowers with the advantage. The Genesis takes a nose. Louis Trost right there in the picture as well. Jacob Schenkel gets the advantage and closes the door on the 12 of Bowers. But with 3 laps to go, is Bowers going to have a shot here? How about Torres running in 4th? Is he going to run through the drivers to try and get up to the lead and win this thing? 60 seems to be on rails here today. Hard to beat, very fast. 12 of Bowers tried. He definitely gambled there, and unfortunately it did not pan out. Torres right there on the inside of the 29. He's trying to get back up to 3rd here. Might have been a different scenario, different storyline if that 64 started on the outside of the 60 machine for the restart. Jacob Schenkel would be looking to become the first driver with 2 wins on the season if he can maintain this advantage he has over 2nd place. That 60 machine is fast. Sigma officials are noting debris out on the track. They're going to throw the caution one more time here tonight. Carson Bowers seems to be faltering here at the end. 64, Sebastian Torres gets up to 2nd. So we're going to get a little bit of Sigma overtime on a road course. That does not happen very often. Overtime, we're going to force a couple extra laps here tonight as your leader, Jacob Schenkel, leads them to what could potentially be the last restart here tonight. Just ultimately didn't feel like it should have ended that way, so debris on track forced their hand to throw the caution one more time. One more clean restart. Whoever wins it, whoever gets off with it, it's off to the races, get the win. But Sigma overtime here at Watkins Glen, that's a first of its kind. Jacob Shangle, Sebastian Torres, followed by the 12 of Carson Bowers, Louis Trost in 4th, Jimmy Logano 5th, Al Bunch 6th, Wyatt Wilkinson 7th, Kara Shangle 8th, Finley Herwig 9th, Tasha Wright, Bradley Ream, Rich Roy, Willow Blake, Tyler Shangle, Braden Vargy are top 15. Then you got Kevin Xavier, Alex Crowther, John Hagan, followed by Liz Shangle, Tom Cording, Tayden Berggren, Tyler Landa, Lynn Farrell, Eli the Wolf, Tristan Reams, Chris Harvey, James Fireball Robert, Preston Kundo, Ryan Little, Tyler Aspinall, Dave Steele Jr., Ryan White, Luis Rodriguez, Kellen Relic, Craig the Void, Chaz Chadwick, Cooper Dwight, Lucas Holmes, Brandon Butler, Trevor Vaden, Trevor Walker, Brian DeBlank, and Ewan Woodarmy. Monty Shangle on pit road. It doesn't seem like his day got any better. Ralph Oberstadt now leaving pit road as well. Finley Herwig still with the fastest lap here today. Might be able to have a top 10 to show for. He's still in the top 10 there. Maybe more if he can get a lucky break on this last restart. Seven cautions, not often something you see at a road course, and yet here we are, 7 cautions deep here tonight, trying to reprimand all of the wrongdoings that the game has thrown at us here today. One more true restart. Hopefully it's a good race to the finish. That 60 has been killing it on the restarts. But the the chink in the armor is definitely a double file restart. Seems to be a tough one to get through. Once you get sorted, once you get the tires rolling, it's a lot easier to get back up there and take your advantage and roll with it. But takes about a half lap or more to get into the pace and actually start driving away with it. How well will the JSR team car of his do racing alongside of him as they get doubled up for the restart? 60 is going to take the low side. 64 is going to take the high side. Another clean restart on the way. Jacob Shangle's just going to have to dial it in one more time here. Figure it out. Sebastian Torres. He wants to get back into that top position and earn his first ever career win in the Sigma Cup Series. The rest of the field just slightly hoping that it's a dog pile going into turn 1, that they can maybe come out on the other side looking rosy. Carson Bowers, Louis Trost seemed like their speeds were starting to drop a little bit, so that could open the door for someone like Al Bunch or Jimmy Logano to pounce here on this last restart. Oh, the 60 does not get going, and the 12 is going to go down low to make it 3 wide. Charging into turn 1, the 64. Sebastian Torres is going to have the lead. Al Bunch up to 3rd. What a stellar rebound for Al Bunch. So now the battle's on for your top 3. Ooh, Jacob's right there. He's going to get cut off by Al Bunch. Kara Shangle moving through the field. Friendly fire, not quite. Looked like they were going to get into each other there. But now we're off to the races. If they see the white flag, it's an official race through and through. Sebastian Torres, your leader. And at this point, y'all got to just worry about if you've got enough fuel in the tank. Sebastian leads right now over Louis Trost. White flag waving, one more lap to go. Louis Trost in second. Al Bunch up to third. Jacob Schenkel falls back to fourth with Kara Schenkel holding on to a top 5 run. This may be the longest lap of this young rookie's career, having to hold off the defense on the 29 of Louis Trost, who's no stranger to victory lane in Sigma Cup, but he's been a stranger for the last couple years. So Louis Trost trying to get back into form. Sebastian Torres just trying to secure win number 1 of his career. He had to deal with some adversity here today to get back into this position. And then on that last restart, when he was given the front row, it was a matter of getting the jump on the boss man. And he did just that. A great restart. Great pace from the 64. Sebastian Torres is going to make it 9. Whoa, he's slowing up here. Hopefully he's not running out of fuel. Nah, he's going to be fine. Coming down the hill, winning his first career Sigma Cup race. Sebastian Torres in the Genesis for Jacob Schenkel Racing. Second place, Louis Trost. Third place, Al Bunch. If that's not momentum, I don't know what is. Al Bunch wants to get back. It's been a rough start to the season. A top 3 finish, a podium here today. 81 might be trying to turn the corner here. Kara Schenkel with the top 5. Jacob Schenkel with the top 5. Jimmy Logano, Tasha Wright, Wyatt Wilkinson, Carson Bowers, and Bradley Ream. Wow. Out of fuel on the last lap. Rich Roy was top 10 and runs it out of fuel. Craig the Void was able to bounce back from 40th up to 26th. A little bit of luck and a little bit of patience, was able to cut the field in half. Definitely not the best finish that he was expecting here today, but better than a 40th for sure. Yeah, a lot of folks running it out of fuel on that last lap. Just goes to show you. Oh, wow, the 68 of Finley really hit a hurdle here. Had to pit on that last run, unfortunately, and eliminated a good finish for the 68 machine. Louis Trost got busted up on the last lap. He must have ran out of fuel too. How did he get busted up? He's still making it around the racetrack. Oh, shoot. Gets second place and then runs into the pit wall. Well, congratulations to Sebastian Torres. Sigma Gong Show winner to earn that seat. And a race winner in only 9 races of his career here in Sigma Cup. So 9 different winners in the first 9 races. Keeping it strong. It's only going to get more exciting as the season goes on. So we'll see if we can even approach that 15 straight that we saw back in 2012. It's very possible. We're almost more than 2/3 of the way there almost. So race 9. Yep. Okay. Definitely had a little bit of everything, a little bit of tomfoolery, glitchness, racing, wrecking. Kind of had it all here today. Through the fire and the flames, we carried on, and new driver gets to sit in victory lane here today. Sebastian Torres, rookie in his own right, first ever season under, and he's already up in the top 10 in points, so Torres might be a threat for this title after all, too. race might go down in the season as one of the weirdest races this year so far. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, folks. It was weird, but we made it. Got through it. Well, it's the first driver not named Jacob Shangle to win in the number 64 machine. How fitting for Sebastian Torres to actually have to beat his team owner to win this race here today. One final restart. Well, prior restarts, it looked like Jacob had the speed. All it took was one mishap, a bad start, and that 60 machine went backwards, fell back to fourth. So, great race through and through. Another wacky week of Sigma racing almost to a close. We have Bridge to Cup tomorrow night. Should be a little bit more normal with the Bridge to Cup cars at Lakeside. A road course that runs a little bit smoother than Watkins Glen, that's for sure. And that'll wrap up this week with the Sigma Elite Challenge still up in the air for Saturday, it seems, but should be able to get that one in too. But that's a wrap, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate everyone's support. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. Apologies for the technical difficulties and the weirdness that the game decided to throw at us here today. But with that aside, congratulations to Sebastian Torres on getting that first ever career win in his rookie campaign of the Sigma Cup Series. Hopefully everyone has a great night. Stay safe out there this weekend. And until next time, this is Jakester, signing out.